Hey, I'm Mitchell Davis, a Laravel developer.
Mate, I got to stop you. What's going on with your hat?
You don't like the hat?
What's going on? You could eat dinner off that flat brim.
You could. It's for those that aren't on YouTube, it's a Laracon hat from like 3 years ago, maybe.
My goodness.
And it's like a US one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I ordered this like way back when, and yes, it's not my style of cap, but I believe Laracon is going on like now or soon.
Yep.
Michael's flying over there to the US. He just flew this morning. So sorry, it's not today. It's in a couple of days then. But yeah, this week it's happening. So I thought, okay, in the spirit of my Laravel brothers and sisters out there, I thought, right, let's rock the hat. But I might
Well,
have to whip it around, and we'll go that way. What
looks
do you
like you're
think?
doing the podcast under a dinner table.
Yeah, there's no chance of sunburn in this thing. It is a flat brimmed cap. Let me tell
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Holy moly!
You have to get people
Anyway,
to open the door for you before, like, to go through it. It goes out past your arms. Anyway, I'm Gavin Ty, sales and marketing of SixSides, and we're
excellent.
bringing you our B2B SaaS journey to document us building SixSides.
We are. Now, for those that don't know, Gavin, why don't you tell us what is SixSides? Because we've picked up some new followers. Maybe we'll get into that. You tell us.
So our mission or our purpose is to help community-driven businesses or organizations build stronger community through events. And that's by increasing connection and building awareness. There are fundamental principles that we're aligning to. And yeah, that's what gets us up out of bed. That's what is making me, helping both of us.
Where are you going with this? This sentence. Holy shit. There's some like, I was going to have to put some content warnings on that. I don't know.
Oh, mate, come on. I've been up to my neck in grant progress, and I was
That's
just
right.
channeling my grant writing in
Excellent.
itself.
We're going to get into that too. So you're in for a big episode today. I've got 1 hour, so we're going to just fucking smash through this thing.
So
But
we're doing something different today.
well, we are, but hang on. Specifically for those that are new, yes, we're helping events and build communities and stuff, but we're doing it with a mobile app, and there's a back end. That's specifically the thing that we're offering is a mobile app for events. So I think we could do a better job of making that a little clearer, that that's how we're accomplishing it. Right.
I do agree. I've just written down here that let's both work on our 30-second pitch, and then we'll come on. Yeah,
Maybe we can do them both next week, and then the
yeah,
audience can vote.
do it both next week.
Anyway, yes, we are doing something new. Why don't you tell us?
So typically before we do a podcast, we'll jump online, talk for 10 or 15 minutes, and then figure out what we want to talk about, or sometimes have that content-rich discussion before we even have the podcast. So today I was like, let's not even talk, because you're back from, we had barely spoken over the weekend.
Yeah.
And so I said, let's just jump on. Let's just jump on and start talking now. So it's all for the beginning. So yeah.
Off the dome. I
Mate,
love it.
you're
It's good
not
stuff.
too sunburned. So
I'm not at all.
you took that hat.
No, not true.
You-
I got
you
a
clearly-
little bit.
You took that hat.
Yeah, this hat's. I can really recommend this hat. No, I got a little bit of sunburn. So I've been in Bali for 10 days. It's my first day back at work in now 2 weeks, and feels good. It was a really good time. I went with Nicole, my fiance, her sister, and two of her, our now shared friends. So 5 of us. It was awesome. We stayed at a few villas. If you haven't been to Bali, it's got it's really beautiful there. It's fairly affordable. There was plenty of nice food that we had, which was awesome. Probably the highlight for me, food wise, we went to a Mexican restaurant, and I love margaritas specifically, and that was like the only time the whole trip. And in the past I've got in trouble by having a few too many margaritas. This was the first time in the whole trip that I let myself have anything other than just like beer, bintang they have, and so I was having plenty of bintang the whole trip, and then this was the one time that I had some margaritas, and I handled myself very well. So
Wow.
there was no issues there. So that was good. And then the other big highlight. Okay, go on.
What's a shared friend? Is that like shared custody? Like you got to book in time with shared friends? Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's friends that they were Nicole's friends from high school.
Okay.
Who we've now been together for 10 years. So I have met all of her friends and become fairly close with them as well. So now they are shared friends.
If you were shared friends, if they were close friends, you wouldn't call them shared friends. I'm just going to call that out. Everyone's who's listening would call that out. So, and if you and Nicole ever broke up, let's not be under the illusion that would not be your
that's
friends
right.
anymore.
They would be back to her friends. But I'm not just going to say they're her friends and then like I've got no idea. I don't talk with them at all.
Yep, fair enough.
They're our friends.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
and also, I know Mexican, mate. I learned Spanish when I was at school. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, como está. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's all I know. Yeah.
That's it. That's the extent of your year 9 language class.
Muy bien. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know much Spanish, so I can't jump in there. But anyway, it was really good. The other thing that we did, a hike up a volcano crater thing, and it was brutal. So Nicole and I actually like opted out and we got a bike ride shuttle up the mountain. And
come on, Mitchell Davis.
No, it just is what it is. It was like I wanted to be honest. The whole time it was happening, I was like, I'm gonna have to tell Gavin about this because, like, you know, that's all right. There's no shame in it. I wasn't physically equipped to complete this hike, so we hiked probably for about half an hour, and it was just like, wow, I don't think we can keep doing this. What are you holding up? Oh, your Whoop.
You have a Whoop. I gifted you a Whoop and you have yet to put it on. Maybe this is a good sign that you need to focus on your longevity.
Get the health. Yeah, that's right. So, yes, it's something that I'm thinking about a bit more, especially in light of this hike. But yes, we don't
get 4 months free, Mitchell Davis, on that Whoop that I gave you. So there's no reason that you can't at least put it on for 4 months.
Okay. Thank you, Gavin, the personal trainer. That's great.
I will expect a notification today. Yes.
No, it won't be today. I have so much going on, but maybe later this month. And no, but well, you know all the context of of everything that's going on at the moment. So anyway, please, this is not the health podcast.
Clearly.
Anyway, so that was embarrassing, but the hike was, well, the experience of being on the mountain was awesome. It was like an amazing view, and we did a sunrise hike, and it was just beautiful. The guide that we had was actually an awesome photographer. I didn't know my phone could take photos that look like that. So that was really cool. And then we did hike down it, and man, it was like it was very steep. So I was very it brought me back to like climbing on like rock pools and stuff with my dad when I was a kid, because like you got to step on the right spots and make sure you don't, slip and all this. So I was very proud of myself that I didn't slip, because we were seriously hiking down for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was a big deal.
Going down is worse than going up. In many cases, it can hurt more. So
yeah. And then I made the mistake of trying to sort of sidestep, like still going down the hill, but turn 90 degrees. And because I knew like, okay, you can get better traction, but man, my left knee just was in so much pain from it. So yeah, and it was then in pain for the next few days. So anyway, it was, that was tough and a little humiliating, but it was a really fun time. So yeah, those were like the big highlights. But probably about 6 or 7 days into this 10-day holiday, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to be back home. Like, it was kind of enough. And I'm not a huge traveler anyway. I like the experience of it, but I don't want to be away for months and months. So yeah. So anyway, we made it through and got home on Thursday night. And then it's now Monday. So I've had a little bit of time to recover and get settled back in, which has been awesome.
Yep.
So
cool.
That was Bali.
Awesome. Man, it's a good, I've always wanted to go to the top of a volcano and have a look. And yeah, of that.
It wasn't a like volcano, I came to know. I thought we were going to see like some lava or something. No, it was nothing like that. It was like steam coming out of some grass. So yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
like a cool volcano. Apparently there is one, and it's like 3,000 meters. So it's like a 12-hour hike or something like that. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So there's no way I would have made that. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, well.
So I too would like to see a real volcano.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. Where do we start? What do I want to start to? Oh, I've got you recommended I listen to our SaaS journey by the Transistor guys, and it's
not that.
B2B SaaS journey.
What do they call it? No, Build Your SaaS.
Build Your SaaS.
I've
been listening to it at the beginning, and
do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot of similarities between you and I, right? We're not treading a new path. It's just 6-7 years later because I started in 2018.
Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's cool. Yeah, it's very similar. So that's totally the idea for me of why we would want to do this show, was hearing them and their journey. So if you haven't checked it out, Build Your SaaS, check it out on, whatever podcast app you use. They went through some very similar stuff to what we're doing now, and yeah, it's just really great. And they've become a very successful company, small business. I think there's 5 or 6 employees now that they have, and it just feels like they've gone about it the right way, and that has inspired me right since I started listening to it. Probably 2019 or something like that is probably when I clocked on to what Justin's doing. So
I think the main thing, that theme that's come out of there, is that they're being authentic, right? They're trying to do the right thing by the audience, and not. They talked about some other platforms on there about, hey, they're forced to use, like, they do big revenue raises, then they've got to try to capital raises, then try to generate revenue ways that aren't necessarily thinking about the end user. And we're trying to. I feel like at its core, we're trying to achieve we're achieving or trying to achieve the same thing. So I think it was really good. They're at 167 or something episodes. It's going to take me a while to get through it. I probably won't get through it all, but yeah,
it's months of listening for sure. I mean, that's the type of like legacy that I hope we build up with this show. Is, if we keep doing this every week for a few years, at least we're going to get to 150 odd episodes. So,
and if they were all CDs, we could stack them all on the brim of your hat.
That's it. I'm turning it around now. I might expand it a little. It's a bit tight on the old noggin, but we've talked about that before, so that's all right. There we go. All right, cool. So, what have you been up to while I've been away? That's my Bali story. What have you been doing?
Yeah, so a few things in our personal lives. I mean, we're getting a kitchen redone. It's been an absolute mission. Which is a story for another day, but that's been fun. So there could be someone knocking on the door soon to come and have a look at or do some work. I have no idea what they're doing. The schedule's completely gone out. They keep making mistakes. So Anyway, that's
the
going on.
Pains of construction. Yes.
Yep. So there's a few things I've been working. We got approval to go through on another grant for Queensland, like at the Ignite Ideas Fund, and so I spent all last week and a lot of the week before doing that. So it was comprehensive, and it's really made me rethink about the long-term goals of the business, where we'll be in 3 years or 2 years, even 1 year, how we would hire people, how we would support the economy here or the community. And it's been really an interesting read. The great thing is everyone that who are our customers have given us letters of support. And shout out to Holly from Volunteering WA. She listens to this, and every time she hears a name, so she has a bit of a chuckle.
Giggles. Yeah, that's right.
So Holly,
shout out Holly.
Volunteering WA supports this episode today, so we'll shout them out as a sponsor. And they've been fantastic to work with, and just getting an understanding of particular Holly's mindset around what she's thinking, how she thinks it will add value to her community, her pain points. She brought up some really interesting challenges last week when we had a conversation. It was great. So I think that will go into our collateral. I'm going to go over there in November for the conference to support them and meet them, shake their hand, and looking forward to it. But mate, that's what I've been doing for the last period of time, and doing some stuff in my other business. So
Well,
Yep.
it shows because I've had a look. You've done a really good job with it. You sent me a message and asked me to fill in like just a couple questions, maybe 2 questions or something like that that were more technically oriented about like our back end, our infrastructure, all this sort of stuff. But then you filled out like the other 98 questions in this thing. It's a
Yeah.
gargantuan effort that's happened, and you've done a really good job with it. I found like maybe one spelling mistake in the whole thing, which I thought was incredible. And then there was like one other thing where you referenced like there was a typo in a number or something like that in a goal that we were looking
Oh,
at.
yep.
But I
Yep.
went through seriously like everything. I looked at it all, and I was just blown away with what you've been able to do literally in 2 weeks. So you must have spent hours on this thing.
It was quite a long time. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for those words. Like you're doing all this stuff on the development side. Like imagine it with just solo founders. You just couldn't do it, or one would
No,
be sacrificed. And you do your part, I do my part, and we help each other out when we need to.
yeah,
Right at the end, we're knocking off different issues.
yeah,
But I learned something really important before but doing this. And so you could, in the past, I've sat down and just filled out a grant and just answered the questions, right? And then it's happened to me 3 times in my life, and I'll talk about it in a second. Whereas I sat down before I started writing it, and I used GPT to do research into Advanced Queensland and what their missions were and what their purpose was, because people, even the government, doesn't do this for fun. They're doing this for a reason,
yeah,
and so the Queensland government is doing this to inject jobs into the economy, help organizations have impact. And that was part of the feedback they gave us in the email. So what I did is before I started is I did a lot of research into that. And so everything that I answered was in the frame of helping Advanced Queensland achieve their purpose. And we did
yeah.
it through our thing. And it was really,
Smart.
yeah, and it's happened. I learned this a few years ago when I was at Red Eye, but it's happened at least twice that outside of work. And one time was my mum, God rest her soul, she passed away in January. She was done a lot of work. I'm a guardian of these 2 mentally impaired men. Like they're 56 years old. They've been in my life for a long time. My mum and dad fostered them before I was born, because they had trouble having children. Anyway, so what happened was when mum got pregnant with me, my dad's sister Delma took them and adopted them and looked after them. She passed away. It would have been 20 years ago, maybe. And they were down in Sydney by themselves. And the boys are okay, but they're very trusting and people were taking advantage of them. And so mum got them up here in Queensland, looked after them. And she said, oh, look, I'll look after them and be their guardian. But when I pass away, can you look after them? And I was like, yeah, sure. So you remember the knock of cash on Channel 9's The Today Show?
Yeah,
Do you ever do
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little.
So I saw it come up once, and I know what they're looking for, right? I thought, what am I looking for if I'm a producer of Channel 9? And I put mum in, and I said, mum is really like selfless. She looked after Warren and Wayne. And I thought, if someone just reads it, they'll call us. Anyway, I forgot I did it. And about 6 months later, they called me and said, hey, Gavin, we've read your knock of cash. We want to give you mum $10,000. I was like, brilliant.
Wow.
So they come down there and knocked on the door, and Stevie Jacobs was like, she'll talk, won't she? She was like, yeah, she'll be fine. My mum froze. She was absolutely. I wish I had the video here, because I'd give it to you in the show notes. But
Yeah.
she froze. She wouldn't come out, and then she wouldn't talk. So I had to jump in. But that was one time, framing it for the people reading, and the other time is I got a watch in my wedding, and I had a competition to go down to the Tour Down Under, the cycling thing down in Sydney, and they said for 100 words or less, why should you go? Why should you be chosen? It was like a $3,000 holiday, right? The watch was $4,500. Like it was a lifetime thing. Anyway, so I wrote it, and it wouldn't work. Anyway, so I sent it, and I emailed them, and I was like, hey, just so you know, that link's not working. And they replied back and said, oh, it does work, but you've got to be less than 100 words. I was like 102 or something. And I was like, well, let me save you some effort. Just put me on the list, because otherwise you've got to go through everyone. I'd really appreciate the holiday. Just add me to the list, and then and then that's one thing you don't have to worry about tomorrow. And like next, and she was like, I'll see how we go. Anyway, 5 days later, they said, you're on the list, you won. So yeah, I got a holiday. So I always try to
I'll
put
see
myself.
how we go is not a good sign. So yeah, that's unreal.
Yeah, I got it. So, but since then I've tried to learn to put myself in the shoes of the reader, right, and
Yeah,
help them
cool.
achieve what they want to achieve, and that's what I've tried to do with this grant.
Well, mate,
they're doing great things for the economy, and we're just trying to help them. We're trying to be a vehicle to help them do that. Yeah,
I can see you buttering them up. You're going to send them this recording as part of the submission.
might be a post.
Excellent. Well, yeah, it's fantastic. I was blown away with what you've been able to do. I think it sells us, like puts us in a really good light. Hopefully they agree. I think you said you're looking to submit that at the end of this week. You're waiting on these letters of support from our 3 customers. So
yeah, I've got one. I'm just waiting for 2 more, and then I want to go through and just have a re-look at it again, and then I'll submit it by Friday. Then I think the deadline's Monday, so we'll get it well ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, well, we're very thankful to our 3 customers that have all said, yes, they're willing to do this, which is fantastic. And it was 3 for 3, which is just awesome. Feels really good that, okay, we've got people in our corner. Not only are they paying customers, but they're willing to help us, get some help.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're very thankful for that. So if you're listening, thank you. All right, cool, mate. What else should we talk about?
You've got my decision to build in public and be a bit more sharing about what I'm doing. Yeah, I think you'll kind of cue me whether I want to talk about that or not.
Yeah, let's do that. So you did message me probably a week or 2 ago now, and said, mate, I'm starting to think about, I want to pivot my persona and my topics and things that I'm talking about to be more build in public. So why is that?
Because I think there's a couple of different things. We're always told to have a single focus and don't get diverted. And inherently I know that, right? But we've been positioned, I think personally, I'm only talking from my own perspective. I mean, I'm so privileged to be in this position at the moment. When you come to me with this great concept of an idea with EventKit at the time, and then we've molded that together, and now it's turned into SixSides. And I think I think this is probably an idea of a lifetime, to be honest, if I think about it. And we have to work on it, obviously. And then I always had my other business, Sales Market Fit. And then, so we agreed to do SixSides together, and I'm 100% committed on it, right? But then I've also had this other business, Sales Market Fit, and that's been getting traction as well. And then as it's evolved, I've moved into this, I would say forced, right? It's forced to iterate into a platform using AI like a sales coach, right? I think if I had have not done that, I just think I'd be chasing my tail all the time, and I would not have been progressing the business. I think I needed to do it, so I was forced into do it. Otherwise, I'm not doing my clients I'm doing my clients a disservice, because I could see a gap in the consulting, and it not permeating down into the sales team, teams, right? And so eventually, I created Deal Buddy, and logically speaking, I know that's probably a silly idea, because if they both take off, then it's going to stretch time and resources, and particularly when I want to be a dad first mission, a philosophy in my life. So we're trying to figure that out, and we're talking about how to structure that, as the same software stack to a degree, the same strategy to a degree, and all this kind of stuff. But my LinkedIn messaging is disparate. I can't talk about one. If I talk about one, it affects the other, right? Because they're not connected. They're a different business. So I've been sitting there for ages, and because all my messaging on LinkedIn is around sales strategy and sales market fit, which is going to be an issue in the future when SixSides gets traction and we really start ramping up. That I don't think that's sustainable. And I'm not going to have 2 LinkedIn profiles, right? We can't run yours as the primary one, because that's going to stop you from doing what you want to do. And so I've been thinking about, everyone says you can't do it. And I'm like, well, maybe you can't in the way that you currently think, but what if you could like run 2 businesses and build 2 successful businesses? Plenty of people do it. So
Yeah.
even part of our conversation with Roman last week, which went really well, which has been our highest.
I want to call that out as
Yep.
well. Yeah, let's give a shout out to Roman, because that episode was really good. He gave a lot of like very helpful insights. I was listening to the the whole thing in a car in Bali on my way to get a massage, and yeah, it was great. And you guys have such great chemistry. So shout out to Roman.
It's our highest listened podcast to date, like in the short window. So
I think it really helped that he shared it as well out to his audience. So that was great.
And so there's so many lessons there, like you're saying, like you don't give up successful businesses. Like, why would you do that? And he goes, so you just got to make it work. And I'm like, okay, so I want to be authentic and learn lessons, and I'm applying both strategies to both businesses. I'm learning lessons from one and applying it to the next. I'm like, I'm just going to share. Like, I want to share that journey and how it is. I don't know if that sounds arrogant. I don't know if people will find it useful.
I don't think it's arrogant at all. It's fun. It's really fun to talk about what you're building and what you're working on. And that's the content that I enjoy putting out, not like advice for, businesses that are thinking about building technology and stuff. That's never really resonated with me, but just like talking about what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
It's really powerful. It's inspiring. Sometimes it can be demotivating. I know Ian Landsman just talked about this on the Mostly Technical podcast, which is another one maybe you could get into, Gavin. But I'll put a link to it in the show notes. But yeah, Ian was saying that like he started tuning out a bit of Twitter and Blue Sky, and this is the journey that I went on, over the last year. Just seeing what people put up and they're sharing like, oh, I just hit this MRR milestone, or I just built this thing and it's so great and I'm like the best in the world and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it can be like, whoa, this is crushing, if you feel like maybe you're not there or you're not able to work on those like fun, exciting projects every day or whatever. And I feel a bit of that. So I've kind of backed out. I haven't been on any social media really in a long time for this reason. But Ian was talking about, well, maybe it's just you just post what you're doing and don't read anyone else's stuff.
Yeah.
So that way you get like it's best of both worlds. So that might be, I know you're not necessarily talking about finding other people's stuff demotivating, but I know I feel that maybe other people do as well. So that's something I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah. Look, and I don't like I don't know if this is true or not. I don't like talking about myself. I feel like I don't like talking about myself or putting out success. I don't have any testimonies or case studies, testimonials or case studies. I just would rather do it and help my clients. And I'm a sales guy. I know that's not very smart. One of my clients the other day at Sales Market Fit, she said, I finally closed this big company and it's worth, and I said, how much is it worth? She goes, 500,000. I was like, that's awesome. She goes, it's actually 5 million. But the first iteration is 500,000. I was like, holy fuck, like that's amazing. And I'm like, I need to capture that better, right? Yeah. And but I don't. Yeah, so I'm going to do it. I'm doing it, but I've just got to figure out how to do it and what's authentic, because I'm not a self promoter when it comes to that stuff, right?
It's hard, right? It's really hard to. Not for everybody. Some people do it amazingly well, and they've got like a good solid ego. I've got some ego. I do not want to write about myself. It was like so hard. If you look in our show notes, our like description where we both go like Mitchell Davis runs Atlas and blah blah blah. Like, God, that was difficult, and that was ChatGPT that I used, but it's awkward to like write about yourself, and but we are experts in the different areas that we
even I hate that word. I think we're knowledgeable. We're above average knowledgeable. And to be honest, Mitch, it's going to be harder for you to talk about yourself if you keep wearing a hat.
You and this fucking hat. That's it. I'm going to buy you one of these hats.
Well, Mel's in here. I'll get her to come have a look at the hat. She's coming.
This will be great audio.
Come and have a look at. Come around and have a look at the hat.
It's fine.
But it's
No,
specifically
look
it's a
how-
Laracon hat. That's the part that people need
Laracon.
to know.
Yeah.
I'm supporting the cause.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
She said it's shit.
No, I didn't.
You're on the podcast and people can hear you. Yeah,
That's right. Now we got to tag Mel as another
contributor. We got to pay
that's right, as a guest on this episode.
Yep.
Anyway, I think it's really great. I'm very pleased that you're wanting to do more build in public stuff, and that's something that I like. That's my jam. So when you sent that through, I was like, fuck yeah, this is great. Let's do this. Yeah.
So that could be a question. So if anyone's watching this on YouTube, which they're probably not going to get to 31 minutes before we actually start talking about it, or if anyone's listening to us on the podcast, if you are, I don't know, what interests you? What do you want to know about this? Like, if not just me about, or if there's common lessons across both businesses, if that does interest you, can you just send me a quick email or send me a message on LinkedIn? What would you like to hear about that? Because I'm open book and to share it. So both are very different sales strategies, but both we're trying to get to a kind of a viral component. Well, self-generating, let's not call it viral, but is it what interests you on that topic? And even Mitch, you're the same. You've got two businesses, you got more than me. So what interests you? If you could email us at journey@SixSides and let us know, or message me on LinkedIn, Gavin Ty, or Mitch Dav as well on LinkedIn. Please let us know, and we'll make sure we answer those questions.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Mate, this one, 4x my salary. Like, this is interesting. You give the context, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on my side.
So as I was reading this grant submission that Gavin's put together, it got to a section where we had to explain why we wanted. How we came up with this budget, that we were requesting of something like $97,000, something like that. And then you step through and they kind of break it down. And you have added all of the, so you don't ask for a figure, you put in things and it adds up to a figure, right? So you have to justify it each step. And I have a look at there's a section on salaries or something like that, personal founder salaries or something, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, and I go through and it's like you can only have 20% of the total amount that you're requesting can go towards salaries. And so for us, that would be about 20 grand of this grant, right? I'm like, okay. And then I'm expecting to see 10,000 and 10,000. But instead, what I see, and somehow you might have to check if you've got this right, I see 5,000 for a technical co-founder, and then I see a total of 20,000 for the sales or commercial co-founder or something like that. And it didn't have names next to them, just had our roles. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll remember this. So I took a screenshot and I sent it into Slack, and I'm like, okay, interesting. And then you cracked up and started trying to explain yourself, and I thought, right, let's save it for the show. So why don't you justify to me, Gavin, why you're worth 4 times as much as I am, but we're at 50% equity?
It comes down to just one thing, Mitch. It's value. No, and look, do you know, when you sent that through yesterday, I laughed, right? Yeah. And I think you laughed too. And afterwards, 100%. I thought, that could have gone another way. Like, if we didn't trust each other implicitly, you could have gone, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if we didn't have that,
that never crossed my mind at all for even a second.
And even I was telling Mel, and I'm like, that could have been without the right context. That could not have. That could have gone a lot worse than what it did. And the reason for it, at the end of the day, is because this is a commercialization project, and it's not a technical project. And
the grant,
yes, the grant. So I'll be spending more time on the commercialization side. So my effort will be spent on that side, and that's the context behind it. Yes, you'll be involved in part of it. And that was the reasoning behind it, and to give the context. Because if it was 50-50, they could say, hang on a sec, your technical founder, he's going to be doing more of the technical stuff, right? Yep, he is. Okay, well, you're not eligible for that. Yeah. So I can defend and give context around why it's it's 15 and 4-4, so it's less than 20. So so that was the context behind it. But at the end, whether or not that is whatever the reason. But the thing is we handled it. There was a lot of trust there, right? And you're not like, he's trying to fuck me over.
No,
Like,
no, not
but
at all.
But it could go like that.
It could have,
Yeah.
in certain businesses, or if you and I weren't, the way that we are, and there wasn't this built up trust over years, then 100% that could have been a very awkward conversation. But I think very interesting you didn't put it in front of me and say, hey, just so you know, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I want to take 4 times the salary that
you
you're
were in Bali for 1, and you didn't want to talk about it for 2. And
that's not true at all. We were still messaging.
Oh yeah, mate, you saw how big the bloody dock was. I can't tell you every thoughts of it. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Anyway, and we're gonna have to put another. Mate, I reckon we said that fuck about 10 times on this episode. It's the most we've ever said it. It's gonna have to.
We're excited.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So, but that was a reasoning behind it, and I laughed at the end, and it was like that was funny. Like, and I'm so glad that we have that basis of trust.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep. So it's all good. It's just funny. It really jumped off the page at me because I'm super detail oriented, and I told you I'm going through every section in this thing, and sure enough, I found the one part where you want to knife me in the back. So
you chose the hat. And
there's nothing wrong with this hat.
Mate.
No, that's it. That's it. I've had enough of this hat slander.
Put it on your LinkedIn profile for a week and ask people to vote on your hat. And see what they say. Yes or no to the hat as a poll.
That is not building in public. No, that is public ridicule.
That's criticism in public.
No, I don't need that. That's all right.
Oh, so you're not that confident anymore. Yep, gotcha. Yeah.
There's a reason I haven't worn this hat myself in like the 3 years that I've had it.
I know.
Is because, I put it on and it looks ridiculous. My head is not made for this hat. I get it. But I'm wearing it to show support for the Laravel crowd that's happening right now. And I think you've ridden on me a little too hard here. And I'm feeling
do you think so?
Maybe we should end the podcast now.
So could you turn your head to the side a little bit?
Okay.
All right. And then move your head back. Looks like a pickup driving away. All right, that's it. That's the last one. Yep.
All right. I'm going to turn it around now.
So the question is, what would we do with that grant money? Is at the end of the day, right? And I think if we were lucky enough to be successful in the grant money, what we want to do is help communities and community-based organizations and our clients build more awareness to support their community. That's essentially what we want to do. And we would do that by going to trade shows and seeing people and hiring, just figuring out how to make that more streamlined to help them build more awareness better, right? And I think, and then once we do that, the natural outcome of that will be, I think we'll have to grow as a business from our side. We'll have to get support, and we could either hire some subject matter experts in Queensland to help us amplify the message there. I've got a few ideas on who to do that, who to help there, but also, helping young kids, in school, like school-based traineeships or something, or helping them. I've got some ideas on that, like my daughter's school, going up to them and saying, are there people in media studies who are doing video editing that could maybe help us edit some content or something like that, but to help them skill in real world scenarios. But we would have an indirect impact on the economy and a direct. I'm imagining if we can help them build more awareness, raise more money, they're going to have to hire more people in our client organizations to support their communities better. So I think there's a multiplier effect that I think that if we keep that in mind, essentially that's what I want us to do, right?
Yeah.
If we can do that, then we win.
Yeah, it's certainly compelling. Reading through that jumped out to me about the student internship stuff, like that angle. I've never been in any business that's had anything like that. So that would be really cool. Very interesting, potentially like a bit of a time sink, but probably worthy for the community, right? So, and that's a big part of what this grant is trying to address. So,
I do think in time, you are right. If we went to hire school-based people now, a lot of our time is going to be spent. There is time that goes into supporting those and upskilling them. And if we're two of us that don't have full-time attention at the moment, that's probably not the right thing. But in time,
It's longer
Or,
term.
yeah, or they've already got a set of skills that we can utilize, and as a back part, like a subsequent part, they can be involved in some other things and learn about the business, right? Through osmosis. So, yeah, I just think there's such a good opportunity to help others from this, and we'll get there eventually. I just think this will accelerate our timeline by a good 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really exciting. So in there, you've talked about, so in the grant and specifically to build up this budget of almost 100K, you've talked about some marketing strategies, potentially engaging with like some agencies to do some marketing work. I think there's some outreach in there as well. Is that right?
Yeah, there'll be some lead generation work to go in there as well. Like we're doing some of it now.
Yep.
Though I showed you what I did with my other platform Deal Buddy the other day on generating a white paper for a potential client, and that's a game changer. That will give us more ability to target people specifically.
Yeah.
So yes, and there's a lot of other things, marketing and lead generation.
Yep.
Conferences, even running some pilots for some businesses to go, hey, we'll run it for free, measure, and because we know on the backside of that, we'll hopefully get a couple of clients. So yeah, there's a few different avenues.
Anyway, all right. So look, that's the grant. I think we've covered that now. We will keep y'all posted on how we go. So maybe next week, if you're submitting that, you can just give us an update. And then if we hear back, good or bad, later in the year, we'll let everybody
I
know.
don't think the timelines, they're saying that the grant will be released in December. So we're months away from it being, you just don't know how long it takes for them to give you any feedback. So we won't expect to hear anything. We'll forget about it before we get feedback.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Sounds good. Well, why don't we talk a little bit, a lot about Denmark and the app and where everything's at. So Laravel Live Denmark will be our first paying customer on our new infrastructure. And it is happening, I believe it's the 21st. Yep, the 21st of August in Denmark. So I've been working really hard while I was away on this holiday, and then some since I got back since like Friday afternoon, I started working on the app again. Over the 10 days that I was away, I'd estimate I spent probably about 20 hours or so working on the mobile app. And it's funny, I've got some great photos of like my view as I'm at my laptop, and I'm, the whole time I'm using the app on my actual phone. And so, because there's some things that are just better when you're working on a mobile app on your phone instead of using like a simulator on your computer. And so I've got lots of photos that I took of like a view from, I'm in like a bedroom that's lit up, and then directly outside of that, like glass door, there's a pool. It's beautiful outside, and I'm just inside like sad sack. Fuck, I can't believe I'm having to work on this thing. And anyway,
can you post about that on LinkedIn? Put a post up saying, "Hey, look, it's not easy being a founder," and like do your thing.
Yeah, sure.
Can you do that? Yeah,
I could do that. Yeah. Okay, that's a good building in public.
Today,
maybe I can release something to coincide with the episode coming up tomorrow. But mate, I've got so many things to do. So let's unpack it. So anyway, I did a ton of work during these 20 hours. I think I had maybe 2 days where I spent probably 8 hours because we had plenty of downtime, So I probably had 2 full working days and then like a little bit of work on one of the other days. And that was about all that I could actually do. And it went really well. During that time, I built out the new comments UI. So we had talked about on a previous recording, episode 20, the new comments UI being inspired by Instagram.
Oh, yep.
So I actually got that fully working now. Works really well. I think it looks pretty good. You seem pretty happy with it, which is great. It's a nice, for those in the know, it's a bottom sheet is what it's called, where like you have a little thing that pops up out of the bottom of the screen there, like Instagram comments do. So I've started using that bottom sheet functionality to have something slide up at a few different spots in the app. So I got that working, the comments fully featured, and then I got the gallery working as well. So prior to me leaving, we had a gallery, but it wasn't really built out yet. You would tap onto a photo and then it would kind of navigate you into a new screen and just show you the photo. There was no like ability to zoom in or tap on any like names or whatever. So over this time that I was away, I got the gallery working. So now you can like, you'll tap on a photo and then it opens up and you can swipe left and right to go through like all of the photos like you would expect to see in your own Photos app on your phone. But then also you can download it like out of the gallery onto your phone. You can share it out to like Twitter or whatever. There's like a share sheet thing that pops up. Then I also got the ability to see like who uploaded this photo, and then you can tap on them and it takes you to their profile. What I still don't have working yet is the facial recognition, but that's literally on my list to get finished this week. So I've got a few things left to do this week. And I'm actually going to, we haven't talked about this yet because we just started the recording straight away, but I'm going to enlist Chris's help for the first half of this week. So Chris, who works with me at Atlas, the development agency that I run, I think we're down to the wire now, basically, to get this up and into the app stores to allow an appropriate amount of review time.
So we saw that overnight come back with some feedback.
They did, yeah. So they came back. So I submitted the production app knowing that it's not fully ready yet, but I submitted it to the App Store to get like up for public release because we know that just from past experiences and rolling out other apps that I've worked on in the past for clients or for our own apps, like for Laracon last year, the initial release that you do for a mobile app up on the App Store and Play Store often can take considerably longer to get reviewed and approved. I don't really know the reason why. It's just what we've experienced. So you and I talked probably in episode 20 about getting the app up with like a version that's not ready yet. And we just won't tell anyone yet. We won't obviously advertise to any of the attendees that will be using it. So that we could eat that like lead time that it takes to get that first release approved. So I submitted that, I think it was on Friday, and then we heard back last night. And I don't think they work on weekends. So I was actually surprised that we got any feedback over the weekend. But we heard back last night that it was like, okay, you've got some things that you've got to clear up. And I just looking at the email, I couldn't actually spot what it was that they had a problem with. So I got to figure that out. But anyway, I will go through. We're going to resubmit builds basically every day this week because we're working on it. And as I was talking about before, I'll have Chris help me out on this. So he's not super strong with front end stuff and mobile app work. He knows like a decent amount, but he's not strong with like design and building out new pages and things like that. He's much more of a back end developer. But I think it's like, okay, it's time. I just need a little extra help. So he can get some screens, 75% of the way in the app, and then I can come through and just kind of polish them up. So
as far as being on track for Denmark, we're on track, right? We're starting to collect.
So I'm going to have it finished, the app fully production ready by Friday this week. So that's going to give us, I think it's something like 20 days or so until the event. And then all of that time will go towards the reviews. So we will do the
and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's right. I mean, there's things to be done on their side, on Laravel Live Denmark side, to send us some information. I saw that over the weekend you had contacted them and they came back with some stuff. So I'm going to check all of that out and make sure that we've got their event configured correctly. In time, that will all be done self-service. Sure. That's the idea, so that any event organizer can go add their own event to our platform and then run it through the app. But for now, I'm going to have to go in and do some of that stuff manually, and that's totally fine.
Yep.
So, yeah, we are on track. And Denmark, if you're listening to this, you guys, we are on track, and we do have your back. It's just this the timeline is a little tighter than I would have liked. So it has been stressful, but I know that we're going to deliver it, and I can't wait, hopefully on next week's recording, to be like, yep, it's up and it's live. And we'll do the Apple expedited review. So they have this process where you can ask for like, hey, can you please review this ASAP? We need to get this out. I did that last year for Laracon, worked really well. They had it reviewed within like half an hour or something like that. So we will do that. I'm very confident that Apple will get us through quickly. And then what I will do is I will follow the same playbook that we did last year with Laracon, where as soon as I put the app up for review for Google, I will just email their support and say, hey, look, this is the timeline that we're working to. Can you please review this as soon as possible? So they don't have an automated like request process for that, but that's okay. So yeah, so I am feeling extremely confident about this, and we will get it over the line this week.
I think you do an amazing job. Like, it's a stressful time. You've got 5 more days, 10 more days maybe, and then you can not take your foot off, but you have a bit of a breather. And
certainly, can relax a little, and that's going to feel really good. So thank you. I accept your feedback. We will get it there. I can't wait to then be on the other side of this like review process. I'm going to ask some of my like Australian friends in the like the PHP community within Australia to test the app for me, and I'll just set up like a dummy event and just check that everything's working. So I think I can probably get maybe 10 or so people into the app across a variety of phones and different like different things there. So that will be really cool. Maybe you could do the same on your side if there's some people that we could reach out to.
Sure. And if anyone is listening, of our listeners who wants to have a look at the app and test it, let us know at Journey at SixSides, or again, send us a message on LinkedIn or Blue Sky, whatever.
Yeah, that would be great, because like it's really cool. Like, this is an exciting time for us to have our first release of the app go out. You know, it's only going to get better from here, which is awesome. But how cool is this? Like, to be in a position where we are releasing new software, you know? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Mate, we're almost out of time. We've got 2 minutes hard stop.
Do we?
So,
okay.
It's almost time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, why don't we wrap up there? That's a good spot to call it. So I want to thank everybody that's listening and is coming along for the journey with us.
On our next podcast, mate, I want to talk about the GPT agent that's been recently released. I used it last week. It was awesome. I'll give a sales strategy update on how that's going. And is there anything you want to talk about next time?
Don't know. Okay. I will report on the progress of getting the app released onto the App Store. That's my sworn guarantee that I will have that ready to talk about. All right.
Mel's trying to make me laugh in the background. She's got a hat, one of your hats on. Yeah. Come and show
Needs
me
to get on camera next time. But
is it still recording?
No, it's not recording anymore.
It is.
She's not blind.
I almost got her.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, check out YouTube. Anyway, we will leave it there. You can find Gavin on LinkedIn, Gavin Tai. You can find me, Mitch Dav, everywhere. Journey at SixSides. Leave us a review, comment, all the stuff that all the influencers say, and we will catch you next week.